talking about Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden.
No, it's Ninja Gaiden, trust me. It's Japanese and it stands for side story, it's Gaiden.
Normally they say Ninja Gaiden.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Gaiden. It's got nothing to do with being gay, so I'm pretty sure it's Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden.
Okay, well maybe it has to do with being gay, but I'm still pretty sure it's Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden.
Shut up! God! I'm trying to do work here!
So anyway, when Ninja Gaiden saw the light of day in 1998, everything was ninja. There were ninja movies all over the place, ninja comics, and of course, ninja games. But Ninja Gaiden didn't start off as the game that went to fame for its side-scrolling difficulty. The Ninja Gaiden arcade version was a clone of Double Dragon, a beat-em-up game, with about 3 or 4 attacks that got boring after a while. Now, I've never played the game, but it is said that it was also very difficult due to some traps during the stages and due to limited continues in the US version of the game. But it is said the Amstrad and DOS version sucked pretty bad, but ninjas were cool at that time, so fuck it.
Matter of fact, you wanna see how fast ninjas can be? I think that joke would be stupid, so I'm not gonna do it.
Now, the arcade versions of games during that time were pretty good looking, but home consoles were limited, just like the NES. So the Ninja Gaiden creators realized that they would have to do something different for an NES release, because they couldn't scam out coins of the kids' pockets after they bought the cartridge for some $50. So Ninja Gaiden went from a beat-em-up to a side-scrolling platformer that is still praised today. Ninja Gaiden was originally called Ninja Ryukuden or something like that, but the name was changed as it was assumed that Americans or other English speakers would have a hard time pronouncing it. But the change to Ninja Gaiden was not the best move, because nobody knew how to pronounce that either. But don't get me started in Ninja Gaiden again. So you play as Ryo Hayabusa, whose father was reportedly killed by another ninja in the game's opening. Of course, Ryo seeks revenge now, but holy heck, back in the 80s, that opening had to be the shit. There was an animated opening cutscene in an NES game where you saw 2 ninjas fight, and those incredible cutscenes supported the rather weird story through the game. It was a revolution back then, and it brought another appealing factor to the game's presentation. The music was awesome too, I still love it today. So Ryo fights his way through some bad guys in America, gets shot by a CIA chick, handed a weird statue gets stolen, old friend of Ryo's father gets killed, the CIA forces Ryo to kill some evil dick named Ryo or whatever, and Ryo gets tricked by him, and so on and so on. So you slash your way through enemies and Ryo controls pretty good. His jump is responsive and his movement is fluid. You feel like you are in control of the ninja at any point. Jumping walls is an important technique too, but it's not too hard to master. The one thing that bothered me about the control is Ryo's sword control. If you are in the air, the sword will swing out right at the moment you press the button, but if you are in the ground, it will hit slightly delayed, which resulted in multiple deaths because I pressed the button at the wrong fucking time. And the game is pretty hard itself, because some enemies are placed that you have to time your jumps 100% to make it past them. Most enemies you can just dodge, but those you can't will likely kill you if you are near a pit, because when Ryo gets hit, he jumps back, just like Simon in Castlevania. It's all about memorizing the patterns and level designs, because your best way to clear all levels is just to run past everything and never stop. You don't even have to kill most enemies, and the boss fights are actually pretty easy. Well, that's before you get to stage 6, but you get my drift. While the game was difficult before, it was still a fair challenge, but now at level 6 or Act 6 like some call it, it just gets insane. The amount of shit the game throws at you is ridiculous, and if you die 3 times you will be sent back all the way to the beginning of stage 6. If you somehow manage to get to the final 3 bosses, the same thing will happen. But the last 3 bosses are the most difficult in the entire game, because for me it is freaking impossible to figure their fucking pattern out. So that's Ninja Gaiden for you. The animations are actually pretty bad, even for NES standards, but the backgrounds and level design and cutscenes are amazing. Plus, the soundtrack is a gift. So if you're not a pussy, and if you like to be challenged, this game is perfect for you. And it's much fun to jump through everything at 100 miles per hour, and it has also a high replay value. It's fun every time, so be prepared to die a lot. Thanks for watching.